It started with a simple message: food will win the war. And with those words, America's backyards became as important as its battlefields. In 1942, the United States faced a looming crisis. Much of the nation's farm production was being redirected overseas to feed soldiers and allies, while shipping routes were under constant threat from German U-boats. At home, ordinary Americans were left with ration books, shortages, and the growing fear that they might not have enough to eat. That's when the government made an extraordinary appeal. Every American household could help win the war, not with bullets or bombs, but with shovels and seeds. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's administration, along with the Department of Agriculture, launched a nationwide campaign urging citizens to plant victory gardens. These were small, homegrown plots of vegetables and fruits that families could cultivate in their own backyards, front lawns, empty lots, or even rooftops. The idea was simple. The more food people grew themselves, the less pressure there would be on commercial farms, leaving more food available for the troops overseas. The message struck a powerful chord. For the first time, Americans saw gardening not just as a hobby, but as an act of patriotism. A tomato plant wasn't just a tomato, it was a symbol of sacrifice, resilience, and unity. Newspapers printed gardening tips, schools taught children how to plant, and entire neighborhoods came together to till the soil. Before long, the humble act of gardening became a nationwide movement. What's most striking is how quickly Americans embraced the call. Within a year, over 15 million families had planted victory gardens, transforming everything from city rooftops to rural fields into productive farmland. It wasn't just about food, it was about hope, a tangible reminder that ordinary citizens could directly support the war effort from their own homes. And while the government's words sparked the movement, in the next section, we'll uncover how wartime posters planted the seeds of inspiration across America. Posters that planted seeds long before social media. There were posters. Bold, colorful, and impossible to ignore, they turned an ordinary backyard garden into an act of patriotism. During World War II, the US government faced a monumental task, convincing millions of Americans to dig up their lawns and start planting vegetables. Not everyone read speeches or tuned into radio broadcasts, but posters? Posters were everywhere. Splashed across train stations, post offices, grocery stores, and factory walls, they carried powerful slogans like, "Plant a victory garden, our food is fighting." The posters worked. They tapped into pride, duty, and even guilt. If your neighbor was out there pulling weeds and you weren't, those bright posters seemed to be watching you. For many families, gardening became not just about food, but about belonging to a national mission. Planting a row of tomatoes meant you were doing your part, standing shoulder to shoulder with troops overseas. Looking back today, it's remarkable how deeply these posters shaped behavior. By some estimates, nearly 90% of American households saw them on a daily basis. And the art itself, vibrant reds, greens, and bold typography, was so iconic that original posters are now collector's items, a window into a time when a simple image could move an entire nation to action. But the posters were just the beginning. Once Americans were inspired, they had to take the next step, turning their backyards into farms. In the next part, we'll see how ordinary lawns became frontline battlefields of food production. Backyards turned battlefields across America. The battle for food security wasn't fought with rifles, it was fought with rakes, hoes, and watering cans. When the government urged families to start victory gardens, the first place most people looked was their own backyard. Ordinary suburban lawns, once home to swing sets, laundry lines, and flower beds, were suddenly dug up and transformed into neat rows of vegetables. Gardens sprouted in every corner of the country. The U.S. Department of Agriculture published simple guides showing citizens how to maximize every inch of soil. Families were encouraged to plant high-yield crops like beans, carrots, beets, and lettuce, foods that provided maximum nutrition for minimal effort. Even inexperienced gardeners gave it a try, many picking up a shovel for the very first time in their lives. This shift wasn't just about food. Turning a backyard into a garden created a sense of pride and ownership. Every seed planted meant one less can of food that needed to be shipped from farms or imported. It was a daily reminder that ordinary Americans were doing something meaningful for the war effort. Children often worked alongside parents, learning not only how to grow food, but how to share in the sacrifice of wartime life. Soon, the idea spread even further, reaching the youngest Americans. In the next section, we'll explore how schoolyards themselves were turned into farms, teaching children that victory began in the soil. Schoolyards became farms as World War II schools turned playgrounds into gardens. Children planted and harvested food for lunches and families, easing shortages. Pamphlets showed proud young gardeners, proving kids could aid the war. Beyond nutrition, these gardens gave children purpose, linking them to sacrifices at home and abroad while teaching resilience and patriotism. Front lawns over flowers during wartime, lawns and flower beds became vegetable plots. Government slogans urged families to replace roses with beans and corn. A front yard garden became a badge of honor, showing patriotism to neighbors. Communities embraced survival over beauty, transforming American streets into visible symbols of sacrifice and shared responsibility. City parks transformed. Baseball fields and playgrounds became farmland as cities repurposed parks for victory gardens. Residents without yards now grew food, fostering community spirit and feeding families. From Central Park to small-town lots, these public gardens produced millions of pounds of vegetables, proving every patch of soil could fight hunger. Hollywood garden stars, celebrities inspired Americans by planting victory gardens. Stars like Rita Hayworth and Cary Grant were photographed digging in the dirt, while Eleanor Roosevelt's White House garden became iconic. Fans followed their lead, proving gardening was patriotic, not just practical. Magazines that taught millions. Magazines like Better Homes and AMP. Gardens taught first-time gardeners how to plant, harvest, and preserve food. Illustrated guides made gardening approachable, reassuring families they could succeed. Millions clipped instructions, turning them into scrapbooks. These guides shaped daily life, ensuring victory gardens thrived in homes across wartime America. Government recipe pamphlets, simple pamphlets taught Americans to cook with ration shortages. Titles like Creative Wartime Recipes suggested substitutions, waste-free cooking, and home canning. Housewives treasured them, creating meals from limited ingredients. From potato cakes to oat loaves, these recipes kept families nourished and proved resourcefulness in the kitchen was patriotic. Seed kits sent by mail Victory Garden seed kits, sold or distributed free, provided families with starter crops like beans, carrots, and squash. Simple instructions made gardening accessible to all. By 1943, millions of kits fueled 20 million gardens. Receiving seeds symbolized hope, purpose, and participation in the war effort for countless households. The story of Victory Gardens isn't just about food. It's about resilience, community, and the quiet determination of everyday people who found strength in their own backyards. It's a reminder that history isn't only written in battlefields or politics, it's written in the soil beneath our feet. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to subscribe and join us again for more stories of the America we remember. Sometimes, the smallest seeds of the past grow into the legacies we still cherish today.